Hello everyone, welcome and congratulations for being here. I'm Molly, I'm the Managing Director of Root Shoots and Fruits, and for those who do not know us, Root Shoots and Fruits work within the wine industry when we assist growers in their knowledge of biological organisms and also technical advances in plant nutrition. Today I'm going to focus on organic matter and its importance in the soil for the resilience of the wine industry and also globally. So the environment, farming, sustainability, they're all interwoven into Root Shoots and Fruits culture. It's actually in our DNA, it's who we are, and it's been passed on from our forefathers. It's very important to us. Root Shoots and Fruits are the sole distributors of JH Biotech products here in New Zealand. And JH Biotech products came to the forefront when assisting the Saudi government to grow food in their desert. And they did this through the utilisation of humic and fulvic acids. Here's an impressive photo of production in the desert, but I bet there's not too many grapes grown here. And if there were, they'd probably be sultanas, right? So JH Biotech also developed products for you, the New Zealand wine grower. And they can be found here via all your favourite ag retail stores. As I mentioned before, today I'm going to be talking about organic matter and specifically humic substances and their ability to assist with agricultural resilience, just as it did for the Saudi people. There are two main categories of organic matter. Firstly, active organic matter, which consists of partially decomposed plants and animal residues, poo, microbes, living and dead. And secondly, passive organic matter, which is chemically stable and cannot be broken down further. So most growers are quite familiar with active organic matter and the benefits to the soil. Ongoing additions are very important to assist in the feeding of microbes that cycle minerals and protect our soils from drying. Passive organic matter, however, is far less known and certainly far less understood. Humic substances like organic matter can also be divided into two main fractions. So we have humic acid fraction and the fulvic acid fraction. And these passive components are the essence of soil. They're what active organic matter breaks down to after long periods of time. So often, even if not voiced, growers silently wonder whether humic and fulvic acids are just another production cost. Is there any real value? And the short answer is yes. I'll go through these benefits now for you here. But firstly, here's a few facts. Did you know it can take up to 1,000 years to produce just a few centimetres of topsoil? Loss of topsoil is of major concern globally. 95% of food that we eat is grown from soil. It's grown in soil. And this soil is fast becoming spoilt by unsustainable human activity. 1 spoonful of healthy soil contains millions of organisms that grow topsoil. In general, soil humic and fulvic acid levels are seriously low, and fulvic acid is thought to be one of the missing links to human health. Healthy soil is a dynamic living ecosystem, a composition of minerals and organic matter containing oxygen, water and organisms. 33% of all soils around the world are degraded, and it is our collective responsibility to safeguard these vital resources. Restoring and growing soil will automatically improve food security, mitigate climate change and conserve biodiversity for a more resilient future. So we all know that water is directly related to soil fertility. Weather patterns are becoming erratic, affecting viticulture and agriculture worldwide, as we've seen recently here in New Zealand. Soil's water holding capacity is decreasing due to low organic matter levels. This affects water infiltration, runoff, storage, and water evaporation. Humic acid acts like a water sponge. It holds 7 times their volume in water, which is important now, obviously, and into the future. So humic substances also affect soil structure. Mycorrhizal fungi and other organisms create humic substances. Things like glomalin, which is a soil glue that holds soils together, and it improves the physical aspects of soil. And glomalin also stores atmospheric carbon. Humic substances stabilize soil temperature because the water is bound within the humic chain, reducing moisture released into the atmosphere and temperature fluctuations. So chelation by humic substances is Earth's natural transportation mechanism, reducing cation toxicity and also improving the uptake of minerals through the plant's roots. Mixing of volatile minerals such as nitrogen with humic acid greatly alleviates the issues of fertilizer loss through leaching. And this improves the efficacies and provides a reduction in fertilizer costs. So this is a representation of a long carbon chain molecular structure. No two are the same. And you will see here that there's lots of carboxylic sites, which are what creates and increases cation exchange capacities of soils, more commonly referred to as CEC. There needs to be a similar ratio of oxygen to carbon in humic acid products to ensure there are lots of these sites. If a product is high in carbon, then it's automatically low in oxygen. So there are few carboxylic sites existing for the mineral to be uptaken. This is how one determines the activity and usefulness of a humic acid compound, which for all intents and purposes looks exactly the same. So compared to soil, the CEC of humic acid is about 30 times greater. Fulvic acid is way higher again, with a CEC of 1,400 MEGs per 100 grams. So adding humic compounds will dramatically improve soil's holding capacity. Humic acids are excellent buffers in the soil, whilst fulvic acid added to water can buffer the water pH. And this is useful when mixing products to improve efficacy and prevent issues. Fulvic acid is also a powerful plant electrolyte, so it's great when applied to plants under extreme heat, preventing wilting. In this way, and also cold, and in this way, fulvic acid is far more fit for purpose than seaweed sprays. So humic acids protect waterways from eutrophication. Adding humic acid when applying fertilizers such as nitrogen not only improves the efficacy of the nitrogen and increases production, but it decreases leaching. And this is a real problem that you can see if you're trying to water ski up the Waikato River, for example. And also only just this week, there was an article written where thousands of dead birds were dying of botulism in a wetland called Whangamarino. The Waikato Regional Council have been accused of failing in its obligation to protect freshwater environments. Lake Waikari is one of the world's most polluted lakes found here in New Zealand. This lake was diverted into a wetland as part of a flood control scheme. And locals call this lake Fanta Lake because of its vivid orange toxic colour, which you can see here in this slide. So these are very real problems. Humic acid substances function to attract and degrade toxic substances like pesticides and herbicides that enter our food and water chain. They also bind up heavy metals such as copper or aluminium, mercury and lead, preventing them from entering our food chain too. Saline soils can be recovered to provide a more desirable environment for root growth, which can be a problem in some areas in New Zealand. And you might also find it interesting to know that pathogenic enzymes are bound to humic substances, making them ineffective and unable to harm plants. Humic substances increase respiration. Cell division is accelerated, enhancing root development, which is great for new vineyard plantings, great for all plants. And this picture says it all. Humic substances increase root growth. So foliar fertilizers containing fulvic acid have been found to be 100 to 500% more efficient than soil fertilizer, as they are rapidly absorbed and therefore small quantities can be used. So humic substances dramatically increase fertilizer efficiencies. They lower input costs whilst improving production and of course protecting environmental assets. So does my vineyard need humic substances? Well, remember, you cannot improve what you don't measure. Laboratories test for organic matter levels in soils, and I urge you to do just that. It is important to use both active organic matter and passive organic matter, as your soil needs both. Keep in mind the costs when you're weighing up the value. There are so many products on the market. They're all looking the same. It is the chemical composition of the oxygen to carbon ratio that determines the activity and usefulness of humic acid compounds, because they certainly aren't all the same. So here's a shopping list of how to choose the best products to use. Look for things like, where it's derived from, the extraction methods, the rates are a good indicator of strength, and so forth. So Root Shoots and Fruits humic acid product is named Humax, and Root Shoots and Fruits fulvic acid product is named Mobilizer. They're natural, they're safe, and they're certified organic with BioGrow. And just finally, did you know that humic and fulvic acids have both a negative and a positive charge? They are nicknamed the Earth's battery and the spark of life. So let's get the spark back into our lives. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, please call Root Shoots and Fruits.